Marketing is key. Whether you're a business, whether you're an organization, whether you're a content creator, whether you're online, marketing can be a big part of what you need to do to grow your audience, to engage. And the ultimate goal really is engagement, is to get your customer, get your client, get your patient, get everyone to engage in what you're doing. And we're going to be talking about that tonight with our special guest. So stay tuned, and we're going to have a great show. If you are new to me, I'm Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health, take charge of your life, avoid complications, and create the life you've always wanted, going to the next level. That's what we do. And you, if you're new, go ahead and put new in the comments. I'd love to welcome you with a hand clap and some music, because we love to grow our community. If you're also new and you have questions, go ahead and put those in the comments with a Q and a colon, so I'll know that that's a question we need to get to. You are catching me, and I was saying at the beginning or the middle, and we are coming down to the wire, y'all, to the end of the month that we're calling Vlogmas. It's a time when content creators come aside, they try to improve, they grow, they expand, they change what they are doing. They're trying to make sure that they're still doing what they said, what their purpose is. And so all month we've been going live, and this is our 26th show for the month. You see our logo, so the logo right above me, Vlogmas 22. If you see that on any content, any video, any piece of material on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere, that means that that content creator is working to expand, grow, and to improve. The benefit to us as content creators is that we get to tweak, right? We get to try new things. We get to invest in our product. And the benefit to you, our clients, our audience, our patients, our customers, is that you get to see us grow, and you get to see us do that sometimes live. You get a front seat like you have seen here on this show many, many, many times. But glad that you are here. Make sure you go back and look at our content all month. As I said, we've been going live, and you'll see all of the different things that we have. This is our 26th show that we've been doing. Make sure you get back over there. We've done everything from communication. We've talked about podcasting. We've talked about health. We've just been highlighting people who are doing their thing in their space. And I want you to get over there and make sure that you watch those videos. If you go way back to the month of November, also remember that we did an entire month. I think it was 27 videos live every night on health, everything that had to do with diabetes. And then scrolling way back into the summer, that was our personal growth series that we did. And there were 28 videos that we did on goal setting, on finding your purpose, on how to say no without feeling guilty, and just on and on and on and on. So make sure that you get back and watch those playlists, because they are on the channel. All right. Thank you. And Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you saw our video that we did yesterday, that it was a live video, for just thanking you for being a part of our community, and thanking everyone who actually hopped over during Christmas and hung out with us. So enough said about all that. And I want to bring someone to the stage who is very special in lots of different ways. All right. This is a young man that I've watched grow. I've watched him expand, and I'm very proud of what he's doing right now. He has started a podcast. He has started a line of clothes. He is now a VP for marketing for a company. And he happens to be special to me because he's my cousin. So let's go ahead and bring him up on the screen. Osrick, man, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us.
Thank you so much for having me, man. How you guys doing? Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And special for you, man, you're a dad, and you're a new dad now.
Yeah, I'm a new dad. Just got my baby boy, so I'm feeling really good. You know, I was a girl dad for a couple of years, but now I just have kids because I have boy and girl. So
boy and girl.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and congratulations to your wife as well.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, so man, why don't you do this? We're going to talk about your story, right? We're going to walk through that and talk about what you're doing now. But why don't you take a moment and just introduce yourself to the audience?
Wow. I always hate this part, man, but All right, my name is Osrick Brathwaite, and what can I say about me? I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I am a CEO. I'm a vice president. I wear many hats. I'm a designer. I'm a podcaster, but I'm a people person. I just love people. I just love to create. I love to inspire, and I love to be inspired. And that's me. You can catch me doing a plethora of different things just to enjoy life. Like today, my family and I went to go see the Avatar movie. Just I'm just a lover of life, and I'm thankful every day. Just looking to be better every day. Very ambitious, very goal driven, and reaching for the stars type of individual, but also with a very calm balance. That's I think that's me in a nutshell.
Got you on the wrong screen there, man.
No, you're
So
fine.
yeah, love that. And what I love is that every time I see you or talk to you, you seem to be doing something. You're what they said, rolling moss gathers no stone. That you're always
Yeah,
moving. That you're always building and growing. So and
yeah.
expanding. I love the things that you are doing.
Thank you, thank you,
Cool. Well, so
thank you.
so let's go back and let's talk the Osric story. If we had a title, maybe that's what it should be. What
Yeah,
did you want to be when you thought about when you were growing up? What was in your mind? What was your vision? What was your dream about being?
you know, as far back as I can remember, I've had I know I wanted to own something. I was fascinated with the boss. I was fascinated with the individual, whether it be, man or woman, that was the one that everyone came to and asked for the information and direction of what to do. So I know for sure that since I was younger, I wanted to have my own thing, where I was the one that was in control and I was the one that was calling the shots. I didn't know exactly where I would have ended up with that mindset and that drive. At first I thought it would have been, opening a restaurant. I thought that that was something that I wanted to do. And then as I became more business savvy and realizing that that's a very, very tight window to or tight road to walk down, I kind of didn't go in that direction. But I always knew since I was young that I wanted to own something. I wanted to be in charge of something. And as I got older, I used I was blessed with the gift of creativity. So being creative, I was able to use that creativity and kind of start a podcast and start a fashion, start a line, clothing line, and kind of just work my way into different things. And then just that positive energy and that positive drive landed me with an opportunity of being the vice president of a marketing company called Sherwood Media Services. So um, that's kind of like the I had a mogul mindset since I was very young, for sure.
And so along with this mogul mindset, as you are moving through different things, right?
Mhm.
When you're trying to get something going, were you in that thing, or you're like, okay, this is a step that I'm using to get to somewhere else? Or was it, okay, this is my thing right now, this is what I'm doing, I don't know what else is happening, but I'm hitting it right here?
That's a great question, man. And I looked at that. I had that mentality with the whatever, I guess, whatever W-2 position that I was in. I would kind of use I would look at that as the stepping stone. But like my fashion line and my business, Heal the Heart LLC, Heal the Heart Network LLC, and my position that I am in right now. Those are my things because they all intertwine and they all weave with each other. Because I'm the VP of a marketing, you're gonna have a business. And so I think everything the space that I'm in right now are all a collaborative spaces that help each other grow. So right now I'm in a space where these are my things.
Okay, I love that. Now, so there are people that are out there who they have a plan. They've come up with a plan. Okay, they're going to school. They're going to get a degree. They're going to get this job. They're sticking into that job. That's what the plan was.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out that way. Either
Right.
life happened and they didn't finish the degree, or they got the degree and they didn't get the job, or they got the degree, they got the job, and then COVID happened, and they're finding themselves now not really sure, and they're like panicking. What do you say to that person?
Um, First of all, I would say breathe. There's so many there's so many opportunities out here for you if you slow down and you kind of think outside the box. Many of us are taught to go to school, get a degree, get a job that's paying a certain figure, and get a nice little house and car, and maybe start a family, and then that's life. But I challenge that theory because I definitely believe that everyone, once you once you have a dream, everyone had a dream when they were young, and a lot of times, I would call it society or what have you, would make us to believe that there's only one direction to be successful, which is go to school, get an education, and get a college degree, and then you'll be successful. However, information. We live in 2000 and almost 23, 2022. The information is out there at your fingertips. We all carry a supercomputer in our pockets called a cell phone every day, and there's so much information. You can attain so much information of how to be successful without a degree, how to start a business, how to because how to start a business, how to leverage what's around you. A lot of the times you just got to ask yourself, what is my passion? What makes me tick in the daytime? What makes me get going in the daytime? And when I get up, what do I want to do? What do I feel happy doing? And when we look at these things and when we ask ourselves, and we got to ask ourselves, in what way can we get to this goal? Is school the only way, or is there another way that we can get to this goal? And that's what I would tell the individual that's panicking right now, that might have a degree or and may not be able to use it or whatsoever. And when all else fails, get into tech. That's I'm so serious. When all else fails, get into tech. Tech is booming right now, and you don't need to go to school forever to go get into a tech program and get into a great tech job.
I love that. Love that. And that is so interesting right now because there's so many people that found themselves. Well, first let me say that no conversation today about anything is complete without talking about the impact of COVID, right? And there's so many
Right.
people who found themselves in positions where they were laid off, or the company that they were working for couldn't make it through. They didn't have a steady job. Companies were pivoting. In fact, within the healthcare industry, there are about 1 million, little over a million doctors in the country. And at the end of 2021, we lost almost 100,000 who just left the field for different reasons. And so back to your point that life hits you, but you don't have to panic about it because we all have skills, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
The thing is, I think sometimes we don't recognize the skills. Like there are things that people have done in their lives that they don't see as a skill, right?
Right. And if I could jump into that, right? A lot of times people don't trust their skills too. You know, because they feel as though the skill that I have, nobody's looking for that, or there's too much of that out there. But what I would say to that person as well, there's always an audience for you, right? When I started the podcast, I wrestled with the thought, like, man, it's a billion podcasts out there. Like, what do I have to say that somebody's going to listen to? But what I did was the hardest and also easiest thing at the same time was to start. And once I started, and once I was consistent, and I think we all need to circle that line, consistency. Circle that word, consistency. When you're consistent with anything, you will be successful. It doesn't matter what you're doing. there's always a space for you. And I think that is a way that I would love to encourage all of you that are all the viewers and listeners, that if you want to start something, go ahead and start it, but make sure you do your research and make sure that you're consistent and make sure that it brings you joy. When people see that you're happy about what you're doing, whether it's, painting or whether it's whatever you're doing, once they see that joy, they're gonna know that it's authentic, right? And then they're gonna something about yourself, your personality, your voice, the way you look. There's always a market for you. You are your marketing tool. You are your marketing tool. And we'll get into that a little bit later.
Now, talk to me a little bit, and I'm glad that you brought up the podcast. So first of all, talk to me a little bit about Heal the Heart, right? The Heal the Heart Network.
The company.
What was going on in your mind, or what was happening? What made you decide to do that?
So, where it derived from was, I used to get a lot of calls from my wife's friends and my friends as well, about just relationship issues and things that they were going through in with their significant other, and I would give them really good advice. And what happened was, I joked around saying, to my wife, like, I'm gonna do a master class about relationships, especially for Black men, you know. Um, and when I did some research, I realized that space was kind of like wide open. Like, they weren't really, uh, that niche wasn't really saturated. So I said, you know what? But I like interaction, and I like being able to pivot from topic to topic in the space of relationships. So I was like, let me start a podcast. And in that podcast, at first, we were kind of just strictly relationships. But as you evolve, and as everyone should, you realize that your one podcast can speak about many different topics. So the company was started, and then the podcast was started after the company was founded, and we just decided to call it HDH Podcast. And in that sense, it's the Heal the Heart Network podcast, but it's the podcast of the network, which we can, talk about uplifting. Give us space. We gave a space for people to tell their story. People that were abused in marriages, people that were abused uh, with they had addictions to drugs and things like that, and they told their stories. People that were cheated on, people that were, that were all in all kind of life, in all kind of backgrounds. The podcast gave a space for them to speak their truth, and I just love the opportunity to be able to do that and have the opportunity to do that. So
Man, what I loved about the podcast was, or is, that you guys tackled, like, for real subjects,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
like where the rubber meet the road subjects.
Yeah, and I think that was what I, because you look at so many, and I respect so many different individuals in their podcasts, and from everyone from yours, if you're a creator, you know how to um, appreciate, is the right word, everyone's creativity. So there's so many podcasts that I watch from time to time, and I just like what they talk about. I love the host, or just the conversation. And what I wanted to do was, like, I wanted to have my own little corner of the conversation, but where the conversation is real. Like, I wanted people to talk about what they're really going through, what they're, because listen, their podcast for if you want to plant a better garden, if you want to work on your car, if you want to, whatever you need, there's a podcast for it. And I wanted to have a podcast where people can have the ability to have that, that verbal therapy of just kind of speaking what they went through, and allowing it to, and using that story to help somebody else that may be in that situation be better.
I love it. I love it. And you know, when I listened to the podcast and I saw the interaction with you and the host and so forth, I mean, there were times that I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I need to write something about this. I got to take some notes. So it was very informative. Talk to us a little bit about as you're going through the podcast, and you are deciding how to put the content together, how to put the subjects together. How did you go about doing that? For someone who has something in mind, they are interested in starting a podcast, they've got a bunch of material. They think, how do you put that together to form a show?
Um, in terms of topics,
Yeah.
well, there are always, if you would just listen, the topics are all around you, right? And if you have a conversation with your friends, families, strangers, you always hear something that people have ideas about or a conversation about, right? So when we were in the space of relationships, what I did was I reached out to friends, I reached out to family to start off. Before I had a team of people that I worked with, um, I reached out to family. I reached out to social media. If you have a following of some sort, you can just post a question, or post an idea and see the response that you get from it. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your coworkers, reach out to if you're in school, your classmates, whoever. They all have ideas of things that they want to hear from a podcaster. And then you utilize that information, that research or that data, and you formulate different topics, and then to make it even better, a lot of those people that give you those ideas, they don't mind being a guest on your podcast, right? They'll come and then you guys can have a great conversation, and as you build momentum, you'll realize that people will start reaching out to you saying, hey, why don't you talk about this, or I love this concept, or I love this idea. Why don't can you talk about this on your next episode, or can you talk about this next week? I paused the podcast because we were having my son, and we were having our son. So I wanted to take some time. But in that space of time, so many topics have, come to me. Hey, when you come back, let's talk about this, or what about this idea? So, once you create that space and reach out to individuals, somebody always has something that they want to hear about more in detail.
Oh, great. Love it. Love it. What prompted you? And I know your mind is always going. What prompted you to get into designing a line of products?
Oh man. So back in like 2012, no, 2014 or 16, sorry, 2016, like I tried doing like drop shipping, you know, and I kind of had liked it. And I was always a good artist from since I was small in high school. I could draw really, really well. And I love fashion. And I mean, Dwayne, you know what's going on in the. I don't know if you listen to any kind of news, like you know what's going on with fashion nowadays. With what's going on with these fashion brands nowadays. Like for instance, like Balenciaga and the craziness that they had going on, and the issue with Nike and their the stuff that's going on with women in that work for Nike, and the different cases that fashion is not looking good right now, right? And I wanted to come up with a fashion brand that meant something. Like Lemaire, I'm wearing that one of the hats right now. Lemaire means light, right? It means light in French, and the meaning behind the clothing line was light up your fashion, light up your day, light up your life, be a light in the community. There's so many things that you can light up and be a light about, and that's why we went with the name Lemaire. I know this hat says Beluga Property Lemaire. The Beluga is one of our side logos, and why we chose a Beluga is because The beluga is one of the most beautiful creatures in the ocean because when light hit it, it permeates and it's such a bright animal. And then the characteristics of the beluga, very peaceful creature. So it connected with Lemire, and so that's how I came up with this idea. But I've always wanted to put something out in the world that represented us as a people, but it also represented something good. Like when you're wearing a brand, it should mean something good, not just look good. And I believe we've been able to adapt both features of looking good and meaning something good through our brand.
And so these are the man. I'm I'm pausing here because I'm trying to imagine what connections are going on in your mind as you're looking at these different things. So so in the middle of the podcast, and let's pop back up there for a minute. So in the middle of the podcast, did you decide, hey, I'm going to do the brand there, or would this goes back to 2012, like you said, and that just came forward, and this was just the right time?
Well, I had started a brand with the podcast called HDH Code, right?
Hmm.
And I had like a void, like a feeling. And sometimes as a creator, you have to go with the feelings that you have when you put stuff out. And I felt like it wasn't it. Like there was something missing. Like I just didn't want to be another clothing line, right? I didn't want to be another podcast clothing line. So I said I wanted something to mean something. So I sat back and I let the engine in my mind flow for a while, and I let it run and I let it run. And then I started playing. Something told me, I wanted to rival designer brands, right? Because designer brands are not made for us, right? They're not made for us, they're not made by us. You can see what's going on with Kanye West. You can see with like it's a lot of issues with brands, and I'm like, well, so prior to all this, my feeling was I just wanted to create a brand that meant something, you know. And Lemire means light. I love it. I love the fact that how it looks. It looks extravagant when you put it on a T-shirt, when you put it on any piece of clothing. And during the podcast, I came up with this idea, and then I ran with it, and now we have Lemire. So
And there it is.
there it is. Yeah.
So as you're going through, right, you're going through the podcast, you we talked a little bit about what you wanted to do when you were growing up. What skills do you think you learned on the way that are helping you, and we'll pivot here in a minute, helping you with what you're doing right now? And the reason I ask that question is there are people who are in positions, they're doing things, they are in jobs, they hate the job, and they're like, I can't wait to get out of here, and they're not learning something. They're not trying to learn something because they're trying to just escape.
I got you. I got you. So I've learned so many things, man. I've learned so many things. Like from number um, one of the biggest things that I had to learn was just you can't throw all your ideas out at one time. You have to temper your creativity. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like you want to create, create, create. For those people that understand the mind of a creative, it's like you want to create, and you want to just get it out, get it out. So a lot of times I had to learn how to temper my creativity in the sense of like, all right, let's not give everybody everything all the time, right? Number two, the skills that you learn how to network, you learn how to talk to people, you learn different tools to market yourself, you learn how to market yourself, and you learn that you're a brand. That's one of the most important parts. You learn that you are a brand. So that's just that's just a tip of the iceberg of the things that I've learned. You know, it's so much. We could be here for hours, but that's just one of the main things. Like if somebody wants to start a brand, remember that you are your brand. So for me, like when I go out, I try to make sure that I always have something Lemire on, and it starts a conversation. Like sometimes people come up to me. I remember one time I was out and I had a Lemire the hat on with the shirt, and a guy came up to me and like, man, that brand it looks so good. I didn't even tell him that it was my brand. I didn't. It was just, thank you, man, I appreciate it. But it's just for that. Hey, you see it, you love it, and you don't love it because you know it's my brand. You see it because you like it. So be your own brand. Like promote yourself every day. Like everyone that's watching here obviously has social media. If you are doing something in anything, promote it, talk about it. We're so quick to post other people's food in another restaurant, and then we drop the geotag, or the, I'm sorry, I'm using technical terms, I'm sorry, we drop the location for where we're at. So we'll go to the Cheesecake Factory, we'll take a photo of the nice spread, and then we'll just hit the location on our TikTok or Instagram or whatever we're using, and we'll bring more business to them. And it's like, look, if you're doing something, promote your stuff, take a video of what you're doing, and then drop your location, if or if you have a store or whatever, or if you have a business that you want to sell, promote yourself every day. Every day, promote yourself. That's something that I've learned, and to be consistent, because I've had my times where I wasn't consistent and I fell off, to where I was continually consistent and I came back up. And that was a lesson that I've learned by trial and error. So
Man, you're talking, and I'm sitting at the edge of my seat, because you just said something there that I want to come back to. But first, let me jump into the chat. And hey, Natalie, Natalie say, hey, bro, hey, cuz, hey, guys, remember this is my sister Natalie, and he
hey,
says,
cousin,
hey,
how you
what's
doing?
up, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Glad that you're here. But man, you said something there that I want you to spend some more time about. I am the brand. And
Yeah.
people think, well, I've created a brand,
No.
but they don't realize they're the brand. Talk some more about that, because that's something that I don't think everybody gets.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna try to give you a lot in a short period of time. So it starts with your mindset, right? A lot of times people create something and they put it out in the world and they think that they're not connected to that. But everything that I create, I've learned to understand that I am that thing because it comes from me. So I am HDH Podcast. I am Lemire. I am that brand. So everything that I do, I represent my brand. So regardless of if I'm out and I take a picture, I still can say something about my brand because I am that brand. So, like for instance, you have a brand, right? And you're out with your family and you take a picture, hashtag it Lemire fam, right? That's my family and I'm a brand. So, regardless of whatever you're doing, you still are the brand. What we tend to make the mistake of is we create something, right? And we, like for instance, look at Jordan Brand. You cannot think Jordan Brand without thinking about Michael Jordan. There is no way you can think about his shoe and not think about Michael Jordan, because he's the one of the biggest, the brand that you can think about. And why not do this for ourselves? I mean, he's such a good brand that Michael Jordan has been releasing shoes from literally 1984, the design, in different colorways, and still in 2022, 23, people are buying them off the shelves. Why? Because he has represented his brand. They know what he's about. They know he's a winner. They know he's a competitive. Whatever you like about him that makes you a fan, he utilized that and he capitalized it at the same time. So what about you? What about you have things that people follow you on social media? For those of you that are trying to open a business or start a business or become a brand or understand a brand, people follow you on social media for a reason. If you are doing something to branch off on your own and you want to create a brand, use the following that you already have. And it doesn't matter if it's just 100 people. It doesn't matter if it's just 150 people. It will grow once you're being consistent about your brand. A lot of times people stop about 5 minutes away from being completely successful. And what I mean by that is they give up 5 minutes away from breaking through to that line of success because they may post for 3 months, posting things consistently, and they're not getting any hits, not realizing that it's that fourth month or that fifth month is where you're going to see the numbers go up, right? But they stop because they think it's not working. But if people like it, still show up and do your work. If people don't like it, still show up and do what you got to do. If nobody hears about it or sees it, still show up and do what you got to do. And regardless of whatever you do, you are your brand. Brand yourself. Like walk around. Like I walk around as if I'm a CEO that owns a brand. And you know what? People see that air about me because I know that I can go and create certain things that people either can't create or don't know how to create. And even if that's the case, I can show them, but I've done it. So I'm proud of the fact that I can create a brand and put it out in the world for people to see. So represent your brand, and people sometimes there are people that take so many pictures on social media and they post so many things and don't haven't created a brand, or if they have something that they want to do, they don't post about it because they want to, your kids are great, your family time is great, the food that you're eating is great, but always find a way to put your brand in it because you are your brand. You are the face of your brand.
Man. There's so much in there that you just said.
Yeah.
So you are the brand, right? Represent the brand. Now, here's a pause, and I'm always trying to talk to the people who are watching right now, people who are going to be watching. There are people who have stuff that they don't put out because they're afraid that nobody's going to watch it, nobody's going to look at it, nobody's going to consume it, or they wonder, why me, right? Why? What gives me the right to do it? Or, well, somebody else is already doing it. Somebody's already talking about, relationships. Somebody's always talking about health. Somebody is always already talking about these other things. Talk to those three people. The person who's afraid, right? They don't feel confident. Number two, they're wondering, what gives me the right? And number three, the person who said, well, somebody else is already doing what I'm doing.
All right, so that person that's afraid, you're afraid because deep down that's your psyche telling you that you're afraid because you will be successful if you do it. You're afraid of what the other side of failure looks like, which is success, right? And I've gotten that feeling before. When I've gotten an idea and I froze, my stomach was in knots because I understood down the road when I thought to the future with consistency and hard work, what this will look like eventually. I know that in 10 years, Lemire is going to be in stores and be where it needs to be. Like, I'm not asking that. I know that because at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that it gets there with consistency. So a lot of the times you're afraid, person one, you're afraid because you know that your psyche knows that you will be successful and you don't know what to do with that success. That's why you're afraid, because you will be successful. The second person, why you? Because you're dope. You're that person. You have people that will listen to you because, like I said earlier, you have a voice that will resonate. You have your own voice. You have the own way you say things. You have the own way that you put things across. You have your own way that your thought process. There will never be another you. That's why you will be successful in your space. It doesn't matter if somebody else is doing the same exact thing. You ever wonder why in certain places you would see, like I notice this all the time. I would always see an O'Reilly's and an AutoZone right next to each other. And I'm like, why in the heck? These two stores sell the same things. Like they're car parts. But guess what? O'Reilly and has their niche audience and people that they appeal to. It might be because people like the combination of blue and yellow more than they like orange, which is AutoZone. There might be some people that like orange more than they like blue and yellow, which is O'Reilly's. So you have something about whether it's your skin, the way you look, the way you dress. There's always something about your marketing that's going to appeal to somebody else. There's some people that hate Nike but love Adidas. There's some people that love Adidas that hate Nike. Why? Because maybe it might be something about the three stripes that appeal to them. Or for some people, it might be the swoosh that they love so much. But at the end of the day, it appeals to them. And Nike knows, like, hey, we're not going to get everybody, but we're going to get the people that like us. And guess what they do? Once they create a loyal customer or a loyal fan, that person will always rock with you. So you create 10, 15, 20 loyal fans, it's gonna go up from there. The reason, and that's the reason because you're dope. And then the third person was why do it because everybody else is doing it? Listen, it kind of goes into point the last person. There's always a voice in the list. There's always an ear for what you got to say. There's always an eye for what you have to present. You're special in your own unique way. They cannot be another carbon copy of you. Even if you're twins, there cannot be another carbon copy of you. There's something special about only you, and then you need to utilize that and market that thing, and you will be successful.
Man, that's such a great point. I was talking to a colleague of mine who's interested in getting into social space, and she was saying, "Oh, there's already people out there who are doing, for instance, I'm doing endocrinology." And I said to her, I said, there are 563 million people on the planet. Even if you got a million of those people, I mean, you have a voice. There is a group of people somewhere, somehow, that's gonna like your quirky nose, like your funny voice, like the way you smile, and but we
Like
get
the
so
tone of
caught
your
up.
voice,
Yes.
like that, all that matters.
Yeah. So I love that, love that. And then once again, hopping over into the chat, we got Miss Osrick Brathwaite. Hey, thank you for coming through, Auntie. Hey guys,
Hey,
this is Osrick's mommy. So hey,
okay.
thanks for. Let me give you some hand claps and some music. She said great stuff. So proud of you both. All right, so we've been talking around this thing, man. So let's talk marketing. Let's talk marketing.
Yes, let's get into it, man.
So all that you're describing, is this part of marketing?
Yes, it is. It is because marketing is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Actually,
No, no,
question.
no,
I'm
no.
sorry.
That's. I was just about to ask you, what is marketing?
Oh, marketing is allowing people to see what you do, but allowing the right people to see what you're doing, right? Because if you can't go into a store that doesn't sell what you're looking for and get mad at the cashier that they don't have it. The store doesn't carry what you're looking for, right? They don't have this. You can't go into H&M and ask for tires. It doesn't matter how upset you get. H&M is a clothing store, right? And that's what marketing is. Marketing will allow you to find that tire store that in your neighborhood. Marketing will allow the individual that's looking for a shirt and pants to find the H&M store. That's what marketing is. Marketing says H&M, we're going to target people that are looking for clothes. The store, excuse me, has a marketing campaign that's going to target people that are looking for attire. Marketing essentially is saying, hey, I do this. Are you looking for this service? If you are, this is here it is. So given the fact that you're a podcaster, everyone that's looking for new podcasts to watch, that will be your target audience. And then obviously then you niche down into the space of, health, endocrinology, or however you want to do it. But there's people that are looking for help in those areas, and that is what marketing is. Marketing is saying, hey, hi, I have this service. If you're looking for this service, I can provide it. That's what marketing is.
So what do you say to the person who says, yeah, I don't need to market. If I build it, my stuff is good enough. People are just gonna show up.
Oh, I love that question. I love that question because that's something that I deal with at in my position as the vice president of sales for a marketing company, right? I deal with that a lot. We have these individuals that they're probably brick and mortar stores that they've been around for a while. And I literally ask that individual, you can take, you know, a lot of people are stuck in their ways, right? But when it comes to, if you're in the space of a business owner, that means that you're doing it for the financial gain of it, right? You want to you have something that you're trying to build in the sense of financial gain, right? So I would say to them, you can either wait for 15 years for people to find out what you do, or you can wait 15 months and be just as successful, you know, because at the end of the day, gone are the days where you had a guy to do your marketing. You know, marketing is so necessary for companies to be successful. I mean, if you look at your favorite company. I'll tell that person, go look at your favorite company, whoever they are, whether it be Apple, whether it be Microsoft, whether it be Coca-Cola, whatever your favorite company is, go and look at their advertising budget, their marketing budget for the year. I bet you is in the millions of dollars and high millions of dollars. So if you're opening up a business, you want to make sure that you are as competitive as possible when it comes to the sense of marketing, because the customer journey, that's something that we do in marketing as well. People have to, one, be aware of your business, two, be able to find your business, right? Three, they have to, if they purchase from your business, they need to provide advocacy, or i.e. reviews about your business. If you don't have these things happening, you're shooting yourself in the foot and you're bleeding out very fast as a business. Any business that you have, they need to be aware, find you, be able to conversion, purchase. Then they need to be able to leave a review and about your product or your services that you're providing. And that is what the full scope of marketing is.
Wow, wow. And so I'm sure as you run into people, you find that they are, so those four things you just mentioned, they're doing one or two, but they're not doing the third. Maybe they don't understand the process.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which is
here
bad.
on, so here in this space, right? That is also a valid thing, right? If you got a brick and mortar, in fact, I was listening to somebody recently who was saying that churches really need to market, which was
Oh,
a
okay.
concept that I was like, really? Why did church need to? Because people just come, right? And the point they were making was that not all churches cater to every person. And we always
Right.
thought that everybody should be able to show up at any church and just do, and everybody gets fed. But there are people who are in certain niches. I mean, young people like certain music and certain activities. We've got people who worship in different styles. And, originally, I think we thought that we were being too, what's the word? We weren't allowing people to come because of their preferences. But if
Right.
I'm marketing, I want the people to come who get what I'm doing, right?
Right. Right. No,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
a great point. That's a great point. Every business needs to be marketed. I'll just put it like that. If you're a business, you need to be marketed, or you have marketing being done for you and you just don't know. Like if you work for a company, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a major 500 uh, company corporation, you are being marketed or you need marketing. It's inevitable because people need to know. What great marketing is, right? I'll give it to you guys in real time. You go on vacation, you land in a state or a country. Let's use this United States for example. Let's say you fly from New York to Miami, right? Or Alabama to California or wherever, and you land in LA and you're looking for the best Thai spot in your surroundings, right? What do you normally do? You pull out your phone. And see, we're not thinking about it as this is all marketing. You pull out your phone and you Google in nearest best Thai spot or Thai restaurant near me or Thai restaurant. What Google does is it basically uses something called SEO, search engine optimization, and whichever company is being marketed the right way and the correct way, Google will show you those companies. That's what great marketing is. But you didn't think about it because I'm just hungry. I just want to eat Thai food because I just landed in LA and I'm ready to have a good time. But what those business owners did was they know that you will eventually land in LA and want to eat their Thai food or want to go to their barber shop or want to go to their clothing store or want to go to their sneaker store. And they made sure that they marketed correctly so that when you type them in whatever search engine, and it's not just Google, that they will come up and they will render your service.
Wow. Sometimes I think people believe, and this is a hard concept, right? So I think sometimes people believe marketing is bad. It's like it's a bad thing. Like the marketer, right? We almost think like that obnoxious telemarketer kind of person, or that pushy car salesman that's telling me all the little features of the car, trying to trick me. I think that's what sometimes people think marketing is. That we're trying to be somebody's trying to trick me into doing something, but that's not it.
No, not at all. That's not the correct definition of marketing at all.
Right.
At all.
It is simply saying, hey, here's the stuff, and the
right.
people who need the stuff, we want to connect with each other.
Absolutely. We don't want to be the middleman. We want to say, hi, if you're looking for that Thai food, we have it. Come to us. It's not going to be like, hey, we're really Thai food, but then when you come here, it's like Jamaican food. Like that's false. That's why people don't like marketing, because a lot of times it's not truthful. But if you do it the right way, you'll be successful.
Right. Wow.
And I'm feeling generous, Dwayne, for all your listeners and viewers. Up until I'll say January 15th. Up until January 15th, if anybody contacts me and say that they looked at this episode, I will, and they're looking to start a business or do any marketing, I'll throw in a free 3-page website for their company.
Ooh, you guys hear that?
January 15th.
I love it.
Guys
okay.
Watching, if you know anybody that has a business that wants marketing, if you have a website of your own, up until January 15th, because this is my cuz and I want to, do his audience right. Until January 15th, you guys can get a free 3-page website on me and my company if you're looking for marketing. So just tell me that you were watching the Vlogmas and with Dwayne, and I got you.
There you go. Love it. There you go. You guys heard it right here. Let's do this.
I'm feeling generous. I mean, it's a Christmas season, man. It's Christmas
Love
season.
it.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling generous. So let's
Man,
get rid
so
of some free websites.
I would, every time I talk to someone on the show, I tell them, I'm in. We are just scratching the surface of all the stuff that possibly we can talk about. And as you've been talking, my brain has been going about other things that I would like for us to collaborate on and
Sure.
do in this forum. Um, just quickly for someone who's out there right now, okay, who's watching this, who will be watching this, they've got their stuff, whatever it is, they've got a business, brick and mortar. Give me just maybe one or two pointers for them right now in terms of marketing.
Well, first, what you want to do is you want to make sure that your website is up to date and your website is being ran on. Uh, it's not being ran by someone that you don't know what they're doing, and it's being ran by WordPress. It's been created on WordPress, and a lot of know I know a lot of times people are saying, these websites like Wix and all these Squarespace, they look so good. Let me tell you something. Some of the major websites that you visit every day are ran on or are built on a WordPress system, right? A WordPress. So make sure that your website. So because the website is like the usher at a fine dining restaurant, or the usher at church. If your usher isn't smiling and pleasant and greet you nicely, you're never going to want to go back there. You're never going to want to go back to that restaurant. You're never going to want to go back to that church. But if that usher gives you great customer service, they're pleasant, they give you all the information you need, they point you in all the right direction. Where's the bathroom? Where's my seat? Where can I hang my coat up? Where can I get a drink of water? All these things, then you're going to be like, oh man, I want to go back there. It's the same thing with your website. The website is your usher to your business. So if I come onto your website, I don't know how to get in contact with you. I don't know how to find your number. I don't know what you do. I don't know if you can even help me with what I'm looking for. I'm probably never coming back to your website. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is you want to make sure that your website is running SEO, search engine. I know a lot of people say, they hear that term and they still don't really quite understand what it means. It's just basically a way that Google sees you and says, "Hey, I know you. Let me put you let me put you on my list of restaurants or plumbing or catering that's on Google." So website and SEO, those are the things that I would say that you would need. And obviously my company, if I can plug my company a little bit, my company gives a full experience when it comes to marketing. We created something called dashboards, where you as a consumer, you as a customer, can literally see everything that we're doing, and also have a little bit of the keys to the car as well, because we give you a dashboard where you can utilize multiple different softwares and platforms in your marketing experience. So, but the first two things I would say, if you have something that you need to look at, make sure that your website is running as well, and make sure that you have SEO running on your website. A lot of people I come in contact with think that just having a website is it. No, you need to have SEO on your website. Your website cannot be found if you don't have SEO. I repeat, your website cannot be found if it doesn't have SEO. And if your website is being found, it's because you're looking for it on your phone, so it's saved in your Google queue. That's the only reason you're finding it. If I was to land in your state and look for your specific business or businesses like your businesses, you will not come up first. That is what SEO does. I would literally
Wow.
have to know about your specific business and plug your name in by name to find you. But I'm supposed to be able to say, I need the space of business or the industry that you're in, and you pop up. That's what SEO does.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you for those. And let's go back to plugging. Let me have you for a moment. Just tell people how they can reach you if they want to connect, if they want to engage you, if they want to find out more about you. Why don't you take a moment and do that right now?
Yeah, man. You guys know my name is Osrick. if you're looking for me on Facebook, Osrick Beluga Drip, Brathwaite Beluga Drip is just one of the words that we played around with in our, for our clothing. Ozzy the Lion is my main. Yeah, so Facebook, Osrick Beluga Drip Brathwaite. My main Instagram is Ozzy the Lion. My clothing Instagram is Beluga Drip _. Don't forget the underscore. So it's Beluga Drip _. And then if you want to connect with me on Twitter, Osrick Brath, just Osrick Brath. And hey, if you want to reach out to me on the VP side of things, I forgot to give this information, but I can just tell it to you guys. It's Osrick at Sherwood Media Services, kind of long, Sherwood Media Services.com. It's Sherwood, SHERWOOD, Media Services.com.
So Osrick at SherwoodMediaServices.com. Let me see if I can just hop that right there into the chat. Just check that on the screen, make sure that that's right.
Yep, Osrick at SherwoodMediaServices.com. If you want to connect with me more about more marketing, if you have a business or if you know someone that has a business that wants to connect, please feel free. And like I said, until January 15th, I will be giving a free 3-page website on me.
Awesome. Well, I love that. And you guys heard it here. We've been having an amazing conversation with Osrick Brathwaite about, just everything, right? We plan to talk about just marketing, but we just covered the gamut of stuff. And once again, thanks, man, for coming through, and thanks for dropping good stuff with my folks. And I hope you let me bring you back, and we can do some more stuff. Awesome. So why don't you just hang out for a minute? We're going to close out the show, and then we'll be back and we can talk some more.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys.
All right. You heard it here. Marketing, so important. And if you are a brick and mortar, if you are an organization, if you are a content creator, if you are someone who has a book, someone who has you want to do public speaking, whatever it is, right? You've got to get your stuff out there, and you've got to get people to connect with you. You've got to find your tribe. We all talk about that tribe, and marketing is an amazing way of doing that. Or marketing is the key to doing that. Let me say it that way, right? Because there's so often that one of my favorite speakers and creators says this phrase. He says, "Being the best kept secret is not a compliment," right? So if you're great and you're back there and nobody knows about you, right? That's not a compliment. So get yourself out in the space. Now, the other thing that you will see is that the people who are being successful are people who are out there, right? They're doing it in real time. Sometimes they're making mistakes. They are learning as they go, but they are in the public. They are out there so the people know that they're there. And in fact, some of the people that will come to you are people that will help you refine your product, refine your process, and make you better. So not only is it you're connecting with those folks so that they can engage you, but you're connecting with those folks so you can find out what do the people really want, right? Because if you're making widgets and they want something else, that doesn't work, right? So make sure that you're doing that. So let's go ahead, and a couple of things we got to do before we head out. Let's go ahead and hop over, and we will do our thought of the day. Let's see. Yeah, let's do our thought of the day. All right, so our thought of the day is this, and it comes from Nelson Mandela. And he says, the greatest glory in life lies not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail. Let me say that again. The greatest glory in life comes not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail, from Nelson Mandela. We all face challenges in life. And sometimes we even find ourselves on the ground. That's right, we've fallen. It may seem like our entire world, our hopes, our dreams are crushed. But here is something to remember, that failing isn't our failure. It's the not getting up that is our failure. It is the getting up that leads to success, because the true greatness lies in not necessarily avoiding failure, but it lies in every time we make a mistake, every time we see an obstacle, that we continue to fight, we continue to struggle, we continue to learn, we continue to engage, we continue to come on back. Because if you don't come back, you can't succeed. And each time you fail and get up and fail and get up and fail and get up, you're getting stronger. And you're building those muscles. You're building resilience. You're building the ability to persevere through adversity. And as you've heard before, it is consistency over time and improvement that leads to success. So the greatest glory is not in never failing, but it is in rising every time we fail. So if you're out there, if you've fallen, if you've made a mistake, if you have fallen and you are worried about, oh my goodness, what's going to happen in the future, you can be guaranteed that if you get up again, then the future can continue. You can be guaranteed again that the future has possibilities. But if you stay down, if you don't come back fighting, then the future doesn't look that good. And here we are learning how to engage. We're learning how to create the life we want. We're no longer allowing life to happen to us. Let me say that as we get into 2023, we're not responding to life anymore, but we're taking life by the collars and we're saying, okay, we're going to make you do what we want to do. So when you fall, make sure that you are getting up. And that's our thought for today. And then let's hop over and let's take our look at our amazing question wheel. Let's do that right now. All right, so if you've been here for our amazing question wheel, you know what we do. If you're new to the question wheel, you'll see some questions there on the screen. We're gonna press the button. We're going to go around the wheel and we're going to land on a question. Whatever question we land on, that's what we'll answer. The answer has to be concise, practical, something that you can use. And I've got to give the question answer in 45 seconds. That's right, 45 seconds. What we're going to do is we're going to cut that out. We're going to create a reel out of it and we're going to post it on our social media platforms. You see that my handle down there, Dwayne Wood MD. You can find us there, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you're not on one of those platforms, make sure you get on one of those platforms. And when you find this question, when you find the video that we're going to create, I want you to put in the comments hashtag I was there. Hashtag I was there. So let me know that you saw this while we created it. Even if you're watching this on the replay, you can go ahead and find it and put hashtag I was there. If you would like your question to show up on the wheel with your name and a shout out, then go ahead and send it to any one of our social media platforms. And you can also send that to dwood, that's DWOODE at DwayneWoodMD.com. That's dwood at DwayneWoodMD.com. So let's hop over and let's see which one of these questions we are going to answer. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Around and round and round it goes. Where it stops, I don't know. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, it doesn't look like it wants to stop. Let's see. Why does poor sleep cause high blood sugars? That's actually a good question. Why does poor sleep cause high blood sugars? So let's see. Let's get our 45 seconds on the screen. And I got to remember, why does poor sleep cause high blood sugars? Here we go. Why does poor sleep cause high blood sugars? Well, remember that everything in the body functions as a result of interactions between hormones, cells, enzymes, and so forth. When we don't sleep, the next day our body has to keep us awake. And in order to keep us awake, it pumps us full of more energy. And the currency, the energy currency in the body is sugar. So if you don't sleep well one night, the body has to find sugar to make you stay awake. As a result, the blood sugar goes up. And if you're diabetic, your body doesn't know how to handle that. That's why poor sleep causes high blood sugar. And I think I did it. Did I do it? I got 1 second left. There you go. All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, guys and gals, I am so excited that you have been here with me for tonight's episode. This has been an amazing, amazing conversation that we've been having. And so I want you to make sure that you come back. We still got some days in this month left, right? As we head into 2023. Make sure you do not miss any of those episodes. Once again, if you see the Vlogmas logo on any platform, any content creator that's out there that's doing this, I want you to go over and support them. Even though you may not normally talk and watch and consume that content, make sure you get there and let them know that you appreciate what they are doing. And we will see you again, because here on the channel, I'm Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. We on this channel, we educate, we empower, and we encourage you to take charge of your health, your life, avoid complications, and create that life you've always wanted, going to the next level. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.